It gives me such a sense of power. Okay, back to the agenda. Next up is item 7, an update on the CEO search. Mr. Whitlock.
As Eugene and Ajita come up, again, I just want to make sure the board knows that we are canvassing the country, and there's been a lot of great effort to identify candidates, and I know Ajita and Eugene will give you an update. I have recommended to the board president, to staff, that we take a little bit more time. Not a lot more time, but a little bit more time to allow the search firm every opportunity to reach every candidate that we should be reaching out to, and those that we still don't know exist. With that, I will turn it over to Eugene.
Thank you very much. Following up on those comments, what we learned from our search firm is that given that we're coming up on the holidays, people are pushing back a little bit on deadlines. So our original deadline to submit applications was November 15th, and they said, give us another 2 or 3 weeks. We've got some great candidates, particularly some diverse candidates who've expressed interest but have asked for more time. And so what we decided to do was to push the deadline for the paper applications back to December 5th. And so that 2 or 3 weeks there is going to push back the date for when the committee will review the paper applications to the week of December 10th. And then the interviews for the CEO will take place in January, and the plan would be then in February to bring one final candidate to the board for approval of the board. The search firm let us know that they have about 10 to 11 fantastic candidates. We don't know who they are.
All right, just really quick, Eugene just mentioned that on the current timeline, we would need to bring a finalist to the full Board of Trustees in February. There is not currently a meeting on the calendar, so we would need to pull you all together if that's the case.
Member Anderson.
Can you talk about the comp package, what the actual board or what the search firm is presenting to those applicants from a comp standpoint? What range?
So the range, the ceiling for that would be the top CEO compensation in the state, which is currently about $425,000 a year. But we're not actually marketing. You can earn up to $425,000 a year. That's not, the compensation and benefits isn't part of any of the marketing materials or the job announcement. And what the search firm let us know is that when candidates call and the second question is how much will I get paid, they're indicating that they're interested in money and not so much the mission of the organization. And so they try to reserve those conversations for later on in the process when they figure out if the candidate is actually serious. And they would consult with us first, the organization, before they commit to any sort of number.
Member Costa?
You indicated that they had 10 to 11 candidates. In your experience, is that about kind of what you want at this point in the search? Kind of how does that stack up in comparison?
That's pretty good. For a CEO position at this level in a brand new organization, and they say 11 candidates who they all think could do the job, that is really, really good.
Member Shaw.
Pardon me, who was the search firm?
Wheelis, there was a competitive process, an RFP that went out, and they were selected.
Where are they located?
I believe they're based in Houston.
Birmingham.
I clearly don't know. Yeah, that's my.
Are we getting people from California?
Yeah. We've in the Chronicle for Higher Education, and we're also posted on the California Registry, and then word of mouth, people sharing information. So we will be getting candidates from California.
I have reached out to candidates in California as well.
Thank you.
Member Avalos.
Yeah, I'd just like to level set that. Right, I feel like I hope we are looking at it from a competitive perspective to comparables, because if we're using a 425 number, that's probably the LA district, which is $1 billion budget with over 250,000 students that go to school there. So to me, I just want to make sure that, we have it relative to, what's the market here in Sacramento potentially, if the job is here based. So to me, I just want to make sure we're level setting correctly, because to put a high end of that number of 425, that scares me, to be honest.
So, that is a much smaller district, not too far from here, just to be clear. Actually, for the board to negotiate with a candidate, we did not, and the board just wanted to set a ceiling when we initially met. The other challenge is we don't know yet what part of the state the online college will be situated. So there may need to be some flexibility in that negotiation to, if it's Bay, you have a little bit more challenges. If it's Davis, less challenges. If it's Orange County, so we will need to sort of be flexible to the extent that we can. But I at the top end, but we want to give you as much flexibility as possible.
Member Anderson?
How will that siting actually work, Chancellor?
So, in many instances, the opportunity we have is that we are not confined to a county or counties, like most districts, all districts except for this one are. We do not have boundaries. The state of California is our boundary. So, the new CEO would work with his or her team and do an analysis of the best place to locate, the best place to get the kind of square footage that we need, the best price, the best access to an employee base. I think given the nature of the online college, that would probably mean about 4 different locations in the state, either somewhere in the Sacramento area near a top university like UC Davis, somewhere in the Bay Area, somewhere in LA, Orange County, or possibly somewhere in the San Diego County area. We will certainly look at Fresno.
Any other comments? Vice President Haynes.
So you indicated that I heard the number 11, and you said that they were diverse. Diversity can mean any number of things, like racially, ethnically, men and women. But I'm wondering, is there what the level of diversity is relative to experience? Is there diversity there? Or are most of the folks coming out of the educational sphere or the online technology sphere? Can you share?
So we believe that it is a range, and it does reflect diversity of experiences also inside and outside of post-secondary education. It was one of the commitments that the firm at the outset of this process also set out for us that we had, I think, at an exec committee discussion.
Thank you.
Okay, any public comment? Okay, hearing none, thank you. And we will move on to item 8, which is a board docs introduction as we go high-tech here at our online college.
So, as we get ready for the presentation, the online college district would make sense for us to begin now to look at the most accessible meeting agendas, getting information to boards, making information available to the public. So we would like to, as quickly as possible, move to adopt an electronic board agenda package. Many colleges and universities use one already, so and it gives the opportunity to have the Board of Governors test it out and and just migrate to that. But the online community college district and continue to have meetings with paper, so.
I'm not home.
See if she's there.
Kristen, are you available? So while we're waiting, I'll introduce myself. My name is Araceli Cruz, and I'm the Board of Trustees liaison, and I'm also the executive assistant to the online college. And these beautiful board books that you have before you, I did yesterday. So as Chancellor Oakley just mentioned, we're going to try and walk the walk, so to speak, and see if we can use the online platform Board Docs for our materials moving forward. Kristen Forsberg is who's our representative there, and she gave us, myself and Christina Castro, a demo last week, and it was really nice to be able to see that the materials are also searchable, so there's no more trying to figure out when was something ratified. You can actually go in and type in what you're looking for, and it'll pop up for us. The minutes we can take live during the meeting. When the roll is called, we just do a little checkbox, and then that's already populated for us. So there's a lot of cool bells and whistles that are available at our fingertips if we decide to move forward with the Board Docs platform. And she just joined. Hey, perfect timing. Kristen, you're there? Just waiting for her audio. And as with any technology comes challenges, so I'm sure it'll be a learning curve for us. But she also does provide a training for the full board should we decide to do that. We could do that either at the executive committee level or the full board meeting in January. Okay. Kristen, can you let us know you're there?
Good afternoon, this is Kristen.
We can, thank you.
Great.
We thank you.
Great. So I'm going to jump in and show you what the since 2000 we are with about 65 to 70% of CCC and over 200 in California. Quickly going to stream together and ensure that to them as soon as possible. Through reset and these will also be housed in the system. You can closed session content here. Information and closed session content in the same space. And the third to in when we compliant. You do used for your you can information. So through their approved and you may want to review. All right. So we will go. And you can. So whatever that. And we can click to see and go to the agenda. Board member. We can also click to you can vote and attach your past minutes right here, and they will be hyperlinked. It will also offer taking minutes for your administrative team.